Okay, good morning everyone. So in the last class we had discussed about the topic carbohydrates, right? Which are the main three types of carbohydrates, Naureen?
Monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides.
Yes. What do you mean by monosaccharides, Punya?
They cannot be further hydrolyzed.
To give simpler units. Okay, then can you give one example?
Sucrose
Sucrose is not.
gives glucose
Yeah,
and
glucose, fructose. Okay,
fructose.
yes. Then what about the different classifications under oligosaccharides? Dia, oligosaccharides.
Tetrasaccharides, disaccharides.
Yeah, disaccharides, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides, depending upon the number of molecules released on hydrolysis. Okay, then can you give some examples of oligosaccharides, Aditya?
And sucrose.
Yeah, sucrose. Okay. Then what about the two types of sugars, Emmanuel? Two types of sugars.
Pentose.
Reducing and non-reducing sugars. Okay. Reducing sugars and non-reducing sugars. How can you identify this reducing sugars, Meenakshi? Using which reagents?
The sugars which reduce filling solutions and Torrance reagent.
Very good. It can able to reduce Fehling solution and both Tollens reagent. Okay. Then what about the different types of classification based on the functional group present in them? Adul?
Aldose and ketose.
Yes, aldose and ketose. Rijas, which are the functional groups present in this carbohydrates?
Aldehyde and ketone.
Very good. Aldehyde and ketone. Then we are moving to the preparation of this glucose. I told you there are certain natural as well as artificial sources here. So here we are discussing the preparation of glucose in laboratories. Okay. Only two methods here. First one is from sucrose. That's also known as cane sugar. Cane sugar. It's an example for oligosaccharide. Only need to write this equation. No need to write this one. C12H22O11. That's the chemical formula of sucrose. Hydrolysis means the addition of water. Okay. So from sucrose, using this hydrolysis method, the glucose is prepared. So two forms of monosaccharides are formed here. One is glucose and the other one is fructose. Both have the same chemical formula, C6H12O6. So that's the first method. If sucrose is boiled with dilute HCl or H2SO4 in alcoholic solution. C12H22O11 plus H2O. That means hydrolysis. You can write along with this, boiled with dilute HCl or H2SO4 in alcoholic solution. That's the method. C12H22O11, that's the chemical formula of sucrose. On hydrolysis, two products are obtained. Glucose and fructose both have the same chemical formula, C6H12O6. And the second method, that's from starch. Okay, second one from starch. It is similar to the first one, the hydrolysis of the starch. Hydrolysis of starch. boiling it with dilute H2SO4 at 393 Kelvin and 2 to 3 bar atmospheric pressure.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
the first equation, what is D glucose and D?
Yeah, that we will discuss in the remaining portion. That's its configuration, okay? That we will discuss in the structure. Here also hydrolysis of starch by boiling it with dilute H2SO4. This H plus in the arrow, it shows the presence of acids. Okay, you know that all acids can able to produce H plus ions. So this H plus ions, that shows the presence of acid here. And here the pressure and temperature should be maintained. 393 Kelvin is the required pressure, temperature, and 2 to 3 bar pressure it is needed for this chemical reaction to take place. So these two are the laboratory methods for the preparation of glucose. First one from sucrose and second one from starch or cellulose. C6H12O5N. N stands for the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So these two are the methods. Nandana, can you please read the first equation from sucrose?
C12H22O11 plus H2O in presence of HCl gives C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6.
Yeah. Then Evelyn, can you please read the second equation?
Yes, ma'am. From starch, C6H12O5 into N plus NH2O gives C6H12O6.
NC6H12O6. Have you completed the slide? Yes. Then we are moving to the structure of glucose. Structure of glucose. Okay, glucose is an aldohexose. So can you tell me which functional group is present here? It is aldohexose. Yes, it's aldehyde. Aldehyde is present in this glucose. It's the functional group present. It can be represented as CHO. Okay, glucose is an aldohexose and it is also known as dextrose. It's another name for this glucose. Aldohexose is given according to the functional group present in that group. If aldehyde is present, it is known as aldose, right? And 6 carbon atoms are there, so aldohexose. And other name is dextrose. And this glucose is considered as the monomer of many of the larger carbohydrates, namely starch, cellulose, etc. What do you mean by monomer? The small repeating unit that can able to produce a large single unit. It's a single unit of polymer, right? So this glucose molecules join together to form a large single unit known as starch, cellulose, etc. So this glucose is the monomer of many of the larger carbohydrates, namely starch, cellulose, etc. Then the next part is similar to that of a derivation. We are going to find out the structure of this glucose. Okay? Yes, Achyut?
Second point, can you explain more of it?
Yes, monomer means the smallest repeating unit that can able to produce polymer. That's it. Okay, so that means small glucose units join together to form this starch, cellulose, etc. So this large single unit, it is known as polymer in general. Okay, polymer. And each small unit that helps to produce this large unit, it is known as monomer. Mono means one, right? Actually, the word meaning of polymer, poly means many and mer means unit. So many units join together. So this glucose is considered as the monomer of this polymer, starch, cellulose, etc. That's it. Okay, then we are going to find out the structure of this glucose. Okay, so there are 6 steps there to find out the structure. It's similar to that of derivation. It's very important one. So we are starting with a molecular formula. We only know the molecular formula of this compound, that is C6H12O6. That's the molecular formula of glucose. And from this molecular formula, using different reactions, we are going to find out the structure of this glucose. Clear, children? So, evidences for the structure. So, based on different reactions, we are going to find out the structure of this glucose. So, as a first step, we know the molecular formula, that is C6H12O6. Okay, C6H12O6. Its molecular formula is C6H12O6. Then this second step, on prolonged heating with HI, that means continuous heating with HI means hydrogen iodide. Okay, on prolonged heating with HI, it forms N-hexane. That means the glucose on continuous heating with hydrogen iodide, it forms N-hexane. Hex means 6. Okay, 6 carbon atoms are there. N-hexane, that means 6 carbon atoms are there. From this product, it suggests that all the 6 carbons are linked in straight line. Depending upon the product form, we can obtain one information about this glucose, that is, all the 6 carbon atoms are linked in straight line in the structure of glucose. As a first step, we know the molecular formula, that is C6H12O6. Okay. Then the reaction of this glucose with HI, it forms N-hexane. It suggests that all the 6 carbon atoms are in straight line. Okay, all the 6 carbon atoms are in straight line because the product obtained is N-hexane, it's in straight line. It shows that the reactant also in straight line. The 6 carbon atoms are in straight line. Actually, this is the chemical formula of glucose, but now you assume that you did not know the chemical formula, chemical formula of glucose. Okay, after all this chemical reaction, we are going to derive the chemical formula. But you can write this chemical formula because it's already discovered now. But we are starting from the process. We don't know the chemical formula of glucose, and we are going to find out the chemical formula and structure of this. 1 minute, children. Yes. So as a second step, on prolonged heating with HI, it forms N-hexane. The product shows that in the product itself there are 6 carbon atoms. They are in straight line. So the reactant must have 6 carbon atoms. They are also in straight line. This is clear. And you can write the chemical reaction. C6H12O6. And actually this is the structure of glucose. So CHO, CHOH4, CH2OH. Okay, that we can discuss in the last portion. But you can write this one. Okay, CHO, CHOH4, CH2OH. Reacting with HI on prolonged heating, that means continuous heating, N-hexane is formed. From this chemical reaction, we can able to find that this glucose contains 6 carbon atoms. They are in straight line. This is clear. Second step. Then we are moving to next slide. Have you completed this, children? All of you? Manual, finish, right? Yes. Then the third step. Glucose reacts with hydroxylamine. Okay, hydroxylamine. Its chemical formula is NH2OH. NH2OH. Glucose reacts with hydroxylamine to form an oxide. This one is an oxide. Okay, and adds a molecule of HCl. When this glucose reacts with HCl, it is known as hydrogen cyanide. Okay, a product is obtained, it is known as cyanohydrin. Cyanohydrin. There are two chemical reactions here. First one, glucose react with hydroxylamine, oxime is formed. Okay, and in the second one, this glucose react with hydrogen cyanide, cyanohydrin is formed. And from these two reactions, it confirms the presence of a carbonyl group. It confirms the presence of a carbonyl group. Carbonyl group means functional groups with CO bond. Okay, C double bond O bond. We learned about aldehyde and ketone, right? These two belongs to this category, carbonyl group. So you can write there in bracket the carbonyl group with C double bond O bond. Aldehydes and ketones belong to this group. Aldehydes, it is CHO. The next one, ketones. So from the products obtained, we can able to confirm the presence of a carbonyl group in glucose. And the two chemical reactions that helps for the confirmation of the presence of this carbonyl group. First one, glucose react with hydroxylamine to form oxide. In this chemical reaction, you can see that CHO, aldehyde is there. From this CHO, this OH portion, O is removed and this NOH is gained in this reaction. Okay, then it forms a product known as oxide. This one is known as oxide. And in the second chemical reaction also, it is react with hydrogen cyanide, HCN. Okay, HCN. So this oxygen is removed and CNOH, two products are obtained. So if only carbonyl group is there, these products are obtained. In this way, they are able to confirm the presence of carbonyl group in glucose. Clear? As the first step, we only know the molecular formula, that is C6H12O6. The second step, on prolonged heating with hydrogen iodide, HI, we know that the N-hexane is the product form. So we can confirm that the 6 carbon atoms in the glucose, they are in straight line. Okay. Then as in the third step, we confirms the presence of carbonyl group using two reactions. In the first reaction, it reacts with hydroxylamine to form oxide, and it reacts with hydrogen cyanide to form cyanohydrin. Both this product shows that the presence of carbonyl group in glucose. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
on top of the arrow on the left side, it is NH2OH, right?
Yes, NH2OH. Hydroxylamine. Here it is HCl. If the image is not clear, that's in your textbook, page number 430. Okay, 430. So this is the third step. So what all things we know about the structure of glucose now? Its molecular formula is C6H12O6. Then all carbon atoms, they are in straight line. Then carbonyl group is present there. We don't know which carbonyl group is present. From this chemical reaction, there is one carbonyl group is present in glucose. Okay. So this is the third step. Malavika,
Yes, ma'am.
can you please read the slide?
Glucose reacts with hydroxylamine to form an oxime and adds a molecule of HCN to give cyanohydrin, confirms the presence of carbonyl group in glucose.
Yes. All of you switch on your videos. Have you completed? Yes, Achu?
Cyanohydrate.
Yes, this product is known as cyanohydrate. Okay. Because cyanide group CN is there, then OH is now. OH is here. Okay. It is together known as cyanohydrate. Shall I move to next slide? Okay. Then the fourth step. Glucose is oxidized to gluconic acid on reaction with a mild oxidizing agent like bromine water. Okay. Oxidation means the addition of oxygen. Okay. So glucose is oxidized to gluconic acid on reaction with a mild oxidizing agent. Here we are using the mild oxidizing agent bromine water. Glucose is oxidized to gluconic acid on reaction with a mild oxidizing agent like bromine water. It indicates that the carbonyl group is present as an aldehyde group. From this reaction we can able to confirm the presence of aldehyde. In the last reaction we learned that one carbonyl group is present there. I told you there are different types of carbonyl groups including aldehydes and ketones, and this reaction confirms the presence of aldehyde group. Okay, if only aldehyde is present in glucose, it can able to convert to gluconic acid. So instead of the CHO aldehyde group, it reacts with this bromine to form COOH. Then it is converted to gluconic acid. Glucose to gluconic acid. The COOH indicates the presence of acid. It's the functional group or representation of carboxylic acids. So instead of CHO, after this oxidation reaction, it is converted to COOH, that is gluconic acid. And this reaction confirms the presence of aldehyde group in the glucose. So starting from the first onwards, we know the molecular formula C6H12O6. Then from the second reaction, we can able to find out the 6 carbon atoms, they are in straight line. Okay, they are in straight line. Then from the third equation, we can able to find out there is one carbonyl group present in this glucose. And the fourth reaction confirms the presence of aldehyde group as the carbonyl group in glucose. Glucose is oxidized to gluconic acid on reaction with a mild oxidizing agent like bromine water, indicating that the carbonyl group is present as an aldehyde group. This is clear? Have you completed this reaction, children? Yes. All of you? Gauri, finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then the fifth step. Okay. Fifth step. Acetylation of glucose. Acetylation of glucose with acetic anhydride. Acetylation of glucose with acetic anhydride. So the reagent used here, acetic anhydride. It gives glucose pentaacetate. This one is known as glucose pentaacetate. This chemical reaction that you have to learn, okay? Glucose pentaacetate, which confirms the presence of 5 OH groups, and they should be attached to different carbon atoms. From this chemical reaction, they can able to find out there are 5 OH groups in this glucose and they are attached to different carbon atoms. Okay. Only if 5 OH group present in this glucose and they are in different carbon atoms, they can able to produce this glucose pentaacetate. So through this observation, they can able to confirm the presence of 5 OH groups in different carbon atoms. And this is the chemical reaction take place there. Glucose react with acetic anhydride to form glucose pentaacetate, and it confirms the presence of 5 OH groups, and they should be attached to different carbon atoms. Acetic anhydride, its chemical formula is CH3, C double bond O, O, CH3. Just 1 minute, 1 minute. There is one correction here, sorry, CH3, C double bond O, O, C double bond O, CH3, acetic anhydride. So what all things we know about the structure of glucose, children? We are starting from the molecular formula C6H12O6. Then there are 6 carbon atoms in straight line. Then there is one carbonyl group there, and that carbonyl group is known as aldehyde group. Then there are 5 OH groups there. They are attached to different carbon atoms. Yes, Achyut?
There was change in the formula of acetic anhydride.
Yeah, CH3, CO, O, CO, CH3. That means the 5 OH groups in the different carbon atoms are replaced by this acetic anhydride. That's why this glucose pentaacetate is formed. And from this chemical reaction, they can able to find out there are 5 OH groups in the glucose, and they are in different carbon atoms. Okay, you can see here it is 4. CH3, O, CO, CH3, 4. And here also O, CO, CH3. So there are 5 acetate groups is formed. These acetate groups are formed by replacing OH groups. It confirms the presence of 5 OH groups, and they are attached to different carbon atoms. Shall I move to the last step? Have you completed? All of you? Yes. Then the 6th step. On oxidation with nitric acid, this glucose as well as gluconic acid both gives a dicarboxylic acid. Okay. On oxidation with nitric acid, glucose as well as gluconic acid both gives a same product, that is saccharic acid. It indicates the presence of primary alcoholic group in glucose. What do you mean by primary alcoholic group? There are different types of alcohols. Okay, primary, secondary, tertiary, etc. depending upon the position of OH group in that carbon. All of you just look here. If this OH group is attached to single carbon, it is known as primary. Okay, and if there is one substituent here. Now this OH group, it is attached to one carbon and it consists of substituents also, right? 2 carbon atoms are attached to the carbon attached to OH group, right? That means this OH is attached to this carbon, right? This carbon is attached to other 2 carbon atoms. So it is considered as secondary. Then OH group is attached to this one. Then 3 other carbon atoms are here. This one is considered as tertiary. Clear? So from this chemical reaction, on oxidation with nitric acid, both glucose as well as gluconic acid, they give the same product, saccharic acid. It indicates the presence of primary alcoholic group in glucose. That means the OH group is attached to the carbon with only one another carbon atom is attached to the same. There are 3 types of alcoholic groups here, primary, secondary and tertiary, depending upon the number of carbon atoms attached to this carbon attached by OH group. This is clear, children? Do you want to repeat it once again? Primary, secondary, tertiary. Is this clear or not? Yeah, Achyut? Clear?
Can you tell once more?
Sure. Okay. Okay, then in the case of primary alcoholic group, this is the representation of primary alcoholic group. Okay, OH group is attached to one carbon. It is only attached to another one carbon, right? If the OH group is attached to one carbon and it is attached to 2 more carbon atoms, it is considered as secondary. This one is primary, this one is secondary. Then you look at the tertiary. There are 3 carbon atoms attached to this one. This is considered as tertiary. This is clear now? 1 carbon, here 2, here it is 3. That's it. So in the case of glucose, we are following this first one. Primary alcoholic group is present in this structure of glucose. That can be obtained from this chemical reaction, because here the product obtained is saccharic acid and the 2 COH groups are attached to only one carbon atom, that is not attached to any other substituents. That's why it is known as primary alcoholic group. Okay, so both this glucose and gluconic acid, they give the same product, saccharic acid. So from this product we can indicate the presence of a primary alcoholic group. We can write this primary like this. Okay, primary, then secondary, tertiary. So here it is primary alcoholic group in glucose. So these all informations we obtained about the structure of glucose. Okay, its molecular formula is C6H12O6. Then the second one, there are 6 carbon atoms, they are in straight line. Then the third one, presence of carbonyl group is there. And the fourth one, that carbonyl group is aldehydic group. Then the fifth one, there are 5 OH groups there and they are attached to different carbon atoms. And the sixth one, there is a primary alcoholic group in glucose. The OH groups formed in this glucose, it is in the form of primary alcoholic group. So these all informations we obtained about the structure of glucose from all these chemical reactions, and these all chemical reactions are important one. So based upon these all informations, Fischer shows the structure of this glucose. I will show you. You already write the structure, but based upon all these chemical reactions, they can able to find out the structure of glucose. Have you completed this slide? Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Not completed.
Okay, okay. finished, right? Okay, so based upon all these informations, he just arranged this OH groups into different carbon atoms. The exact spatial arrangement of different OH groups given by Fischer represented as 1 below. So this 1 is the structure of glucose. Okay, do you remember that points? There are 6 carbon atoms there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 carbon atoms. That's the first point. Then they are in straight line. Look in the figure, they are in straight line, right? Then there is one carbonyl group, and that carbonyl group is aldehyde. The presence of CHO group is here. Then there are 5 OH groups. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 OH groups are there. They are in different carbon atoms, right? 5 OH groups are there. They are in different carbon atoms, and there is a primary alcoholic group. Look here, this one is the primary alcoholic group. Because it is attached to CH2 group, it is only attached to one other carbon, right? Primary alcoholic group. So this is considered as the structure of glucose according to Fischer. And along with the structure of glucose, he also shows the structure of gluconic acid and saccharic acid. This one is the structure of gluconic acid, and the third one is saccharic acid. And what's the difference between the structure of these two from glucose? The second figure, instead of CHO aldehyde group, here it is COOH. Okay, COOH. That means acid is present. And in the third one, both these are COH. There is one alcohol group is there. It is also converted to acid. So these structures are suggested by Fischer based upon the evidences from the previous chemical reactions and the informations obtained from that. You should write this OH groups in the same side that given in the image, okay? Do not shift this OH to left side or right side. This is the actual structure of glucose. Starting from CHO, that is aldehyde group, there is one OH group in the right side, H in the left side. Then in the third carbon atom, OH is in the left side and H is in the right side. And in the fourth and fifth carbon atom, OH in the right side. You have to follow this structure itself. You have no permission to change the structure into different one. That means do not change the position of OH group to left side. Okay. You can also count the number of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen to if it is equal to C6H12O6 or not. Okay. Number of carbon atom, there are 6 carbon atoms there. Then you can also count the number of hydrogen and oxygen. Here 1H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the number of hydrogen is 12. Then oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So its molecular formula is C6H12O6. We completed.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Finish, right? Yes. Then we can discuss the remaining things in the next class. So you have to learn each step, okay? How this structure of glucose is derived. From each step, each information is obtained through each evidences. We can able to find out the structure of this glucose. Okay. Then let me take your attendance. Just wait. Okay. Okay, children. So all of you read this portion very well. Okay. Then what about your revision? Have you completed? Yes, right? Okay, you will be completed within this week, right? Yes. Okay, children. Then thank you all. See you in the next class. Bye.